my dear learners. Welcome to the world of exploration. Welcome to the world of learning. Let's start exploring. Let's start learning. This is Sukriti Joshi, and you have come to the right destination. That is English Gurukul. So this is the one-stop destination for you people out there to come and in order to study literature, in order to enhance your English or language skills or linguistic skills, right? So let's start. What are we waiting for? Let's dive deep into the ocean of learning and let's start learning, right? Okay. So now today I'm gonna discuss the important points. We were doing the Shakespearean series, right? So I had done it in parts, like introduction, then part two, part three, so on and so forth. So I'm doing this and I'm doing the series, Shakespearean series. That's what I've called it, right? So now today I'm gonna discuss the important points for which I'll just use the whiteboard. Yeah. All right. Till then, we can discuss the important points while the whiteboard is loading, right? So, we get to see that the important point, the most important point that we need to remember that about Shakespeare is that he was born on or about, we are not sure about the exact date, right? As we have discussed earlier, we are not sure about the exact date, but let's assume that he was born on 23rd. Why is this not working? 23rd of April, right? Just give me a second. Wait. Alright, I'll just explain it like that. Yeah. All right, I'll just explain it like that. So he was born on the or about 23rd April, right? 1564. So you can remember my birth date as well, right? 15th April, so 1564. So he was born either on 23rd April or before that or after that, but we are not sure, but somewhere around 23rd of April, right? And I have already discussed that he died also on 23rd April, right? Then his father was a prosperous tradesman, right? The second thing that we need to remember is that his father was a tradesman, right? This is not what. All right, close. Yeah, so this is better. I'll just explain it to you. So then his father was a prosperous tradesman, right? He was sent to a grammar school where he learned small Latin and less Greek. So he learned small Latin and less of Greek, right? But he learned, right? But he learns in bits and parts, right? Later, misfortunes overtook his family. Later, we get to see that how misfortunes, had taken over his family. So we get to see that. Then in the 19th year, he married Anne Hathaway, who was 8 years his senior. And we even discussed about that, how he married Anne Hathaway. Anne Hathaway was his first wife. He married thrice, right? That you need to remember that he married thrice and Anne Hathaway was his first wife, right? And in his 19th year, that means when he was 19 years old, then he got married and he married Anne Hathaway, who was 8 years, 8 years his senior, 8 years bigger than him, right? So his marriage seems to have been an unhappy one, and we get to see how was his marriage. His married life was also not so, was not going so smooth, right? Now, we get to see there are several anecdotes why he left for London. So there have been several anecdotes that we get to see why he left for London, right? But we need not study them here. But we are not supposed to study them over here. We'll have a different set of series, right? That we will be bringing further. So it is almost certain that he went to London in or about 1587. So he went to London in about 1587, right? Remember that he was born on 1564, right? And he went in or about 1587 to seek fortunes there, to seek money, to seek out for money, right? To go to go and earn money, right? It was the time when drama was being popularized by the university wits. So it was that time we get to see that it was the time when university wits were famous, right? There were university wits that you will study that I'm going to explain you who were the university wits, which group of people were called the university wits. So there was a group of people who were known as university wits, right? So it was the time when drama was being popularized. So it was the time when drama was at its peak, was being popularized, right? uh, by the and who was the person who was popularizing the drama? It was the university wits. It They were the ones who were popularizing university drama, because drama was also not considered to be ethical earlier in ancient times, right? We get to see in English literature that how drama also at one point of time was considered to basically divert people, to divert the thinking of the masses in a way that was not good, that was not considered good or moral or ethical, right? So it was considered unethical to showcase or to delineate certain acts through drama, right? But right now, it was the time when dramas were being popularized by the university wits. Then there are again several stories how he came on the stage, but what we are concerned here is that soon he gained popularity and appeared on the stage as an actor, right? So there again, we study about several stories how he came on the stage. But what we are concerned here is that soon he gained popularity, right? And appeared on the stage as an actor. So he appeared on the stage as an actor, right? Whenever we talk about literature, we talk about theater, right? As I have mentioned before. So theatrical performances are there, theatrical plays are there, right? Which are being enacted, dance performances are there. So whoever is interested in literature, is interested in music, is interested in dancing, or um, for that matter, I am interested in music, I'm interested in dancing, I'm interested in theatrical performances, I'm interested in acting, So that is one thing that, when you are inclined towards literature, you tend to be inclined towards all these professions as well, right? Then soon, along with being an actor, he became a playwright also. So, he was an actor, but along with being an actor, he also became a playwright. So, one can don myriad hats, right? So we can say that he was an actor, he was a playwright too, right? So he soon became a playwright. Now, after being an actor, after performing on various roles on stage by having theatrical performances, he now ventured towards becoming a playwright, right? Now, um, uh, for example, he acted for example, when we talked about him becoming an actor, we can even take an example. For example, he acted in Ben Jonson's Everyman in his humor. So he acted in Ben Jonson's. So Ben Jonson again was the writer. He acted in Ben Jonson's uh, Everyman in his humor. So Everyman in his humor is the work, is the name of the work, is the name of the uh, work, art, right? Or it's the name of the work. Now, Everyman in his humor. Humor, I have also mentioned before in the previous series as well. Humor in psychology, if you study, there are several humors, right? There are several dimensions that you get to see how humans tend to behave. Which humor is dominant in which trait is dominant in a particular individual, right? So that's a perfect example if we want to take an example. So, for example, he acted in Ben Jonson's Everyman in his humor. Then, after that, obviously, he became a playwright too, right? It is certain from the deathbed words of Green, who called him an upstart. We even mentioned, I have earlier also mentioned about this particular thing, that he also called him an upstart grow, right? I had mentioned that. He mentioned him as an upstart, but by 1592, Shakespeare had quite established himself as a playwright. So by 1592, if we move towards the 16th century, if we talk about 1592, this year, he became he was quite established in his field as a playwright. What was his field? He was a playwright, right? Then soon he became a shareholder in prestigious theaters such as the Globe and the Blackfriars. So this is again very important. What is important about it is the fact that soon he became a shareholder. He became a shareholder in prestigious. In prestigious, when I say prestigious, that means something that holds pivotal importance, right? So he became a shareholder in prestigious theaters such as the Globe, which is very famous, right? Whenever we talk about Shakespeare, we tend to associate the Globe with him, right? So Shakespeare had quite established Shakespeare. So in prestigious theaters such as the Globe and Blackfriars. And Blackfriars, today I'm wearing black, so you can remember it, right? The Globe, you can remember from the sky, right? The Earth, the Globe, not the Earth, but the Globe you need to remember. So the Globe and the Blackfriars, right? Um, then and it was stated by Green. Green was again a writer, right? A critic, right? So soon he became okay. This we have done. Then he also purchased property in London and Stratford. So he even purchased property in London and Stratford as well, right? It is clear that he had become sufficiently prosperous. So obviously, if someone is purchasing property in London, London being a very urbanized urbanized country, uh, urbanized, you know, and very prosperous, having prosperous state of affairs. So if somebody is buying a property over there in London or in Stratford too, then that person is considered to be very, very rich, wealthy, right? So he became wealthy, affluent too. This we get to know from him. And however, misfortunes were not late in visiting him. So although we get to see that misfortunes were not, when somebody is, even if somebody is successful, you see the success, you do not see the hard work and the obstacles that he or she has encountered. For instance, if today people consider me to be very successful, I have encountered a lot of obstacles. I am still encountering a lot of obstacles, and I know in the future also obstacles are, you know, obstacles are always going to be there, but you have to come out of those obstacles. Right. So here also we get to see misfortunes were not late in visiting him. So his only son, he had only one son. So his only son died in 1596. Then his father died in 1601. And then his mother died in 1608. Right. Still financially, he was sound, but he was sound financially. Um, Between 1610 and 1612, he retired to his hometown Stratford, where he bought the largest house in the town, named the New Place. So he bought the largest uh, house in that particular town, which was named the New Place, right? So as his health broke down. He died on 23rd April 1616. So he died on 23rd, as I've mentioned earlier also. He was born on 23rd April and he died on 23rd April 1616, right? 1616, 15, and born on 1564, 1564, right? Then works. In all, he wrote 37 plays. This is very important. Now, from here, it is very important. I'll again try to use the whiteboard. If it works well and good, if it doesn't, then it should do. All right. So, in all, he wrote 37 plays, right? Two narrative poems, Venus and Adonis, right? Lucrece, right? These are the two poems that he narrative poems. Remember that. Keep that in mind. These are the two narrative poems that he wrote. Then 154 sonnets. He wrote 154 sonnets, right? And in which, as I have discussed earlier in the previous lecture as well, that 126 were addressed to a man, a patron, or a friend, right? They were addressed to a man, a patron, or to a friend, and the rest 28 addressed to a dark lady, and the rest 28 were addressed to a dark lady who we don't know, right? His dramatic work is generally divided in four periods. So first and foremost, I'll just try to write. Okay, it's writing. So in all, he wrote 37. He wrote 30. He wrote 37. In all, he wrote in all he wrote 37 plays with it. So in all, he wrote 37 plays. So in all, he wrote 37 plays. Not okay. Doesn't matter. Let's continue with this. So in all, he wrote 37 plays, right? Two narrative poems, 37 plays, 3, 7, which makes it to 10, right? Remember 10 digit number. 3 plus 7, which makes it to 10. So in all, he wrote 37 plays, right? And two narrative poems, Venus and Adonis being one of them, right? Second being the Lucrece, right? Then 37, you can remember the odd numbers have been used like that as well. 3 is the odd number, and then 7 is the odd number, right? So two odd numbers have been used, and 10 is the even number, right? So you can just, remember like that. Then and two narrative poems, Venus and Adonis and Lucrece. Okay. Then we get to see 154 sonnets, 154. Again, 1, 5, 15, and 4, right? 4 is, if you minus 1, 5 minus 1 equals to 4. So 15, 4, 154 sonnets in totality, and 126 are addressed to a man. So 1 to 6, right? 1 to 6. 1 to 6 are addressed to a man, a patron, or a friend. The rest 28 addressed to a dark lady. Right? His dramatic work is generally divided into 4 periods. The first period, the second period, the third period, and the fourth period. This we are going to cover in the next lecture, right? So this is Sukriti Joshi signing off for now. Bye bye. See you in the next lecture.